Chapter 5, The Atom Slider. I used to have tropical fish, but Jonathan killed them all. It had to be him. Mom or Dad wouldn't do something mean like that. He probably did it to get back at me for something I did to him, or something he imagined I did to him. Who knows what goes on in that evil brain of his? This much I'm sure of. One day, when I was at school and Jonathan was sick at home, someone turned up the heater in my tropical fish tank. When I came back, my fish were boiled, each and every one of them. Of course, the creep turned down the thermostat, so I couldn't prove a thing. Clever, diabolical, Jonathan in a nutshell. I used to have angelfish, red scissortails, firemouths, and New Guinea tigerfish, and dwarf puffers. Now all I have is one goldfish, Einstein, who I keep in a small bowl on my desk. There is a big piece of pink coral plopped in the middle of Einstein's bowl. The only way he can get from one side of the bowl to the other is to swim through one of its openings. As I watched him lazily thread his way through the holes in the coral, I suddenly had a stupendously brilliant idea. I hollered, "Eureka!" Eureka is what Archimedes is supposed to have cried when he discovered how to measure the density of gold. The story goes that the old Greek scientist was taking a bath at the time. He got so excited when the solution came to him that he jumped out of the tub and ran naked through the streets of Greece, crying, "Eureka! Eureka! I found it! I found it!" Well, I didn't go running through the house naked or anything like that, but my shout must have been pretty loud because Mom called out from her office. "Is everything all right, Alex?" "Yeah, I'm fine, Mom, really fine," I hollered back. Boy, was I pumped. The solution was so ingenious. I'll try to explain it as simply as I can. The walls of my bedroom appear to be solid, but appearances can be deceiving. The longer I study science, the more I realize that hardly anything is the way it seems. Take my brother, for example. Jonathan as he appears, Jonathan as he really is. He seems like a normal kid, but in reality, he is an abomination, a fiend, a two-legged plague. The walls of my bedroom are actually made of atoms, and science tells us there are spaces between individual atoms. Not just spaces, but big spaces, enormous spaces, vast spaces. See what I'm getting at? Matter as it appears, matter as it really is. Einstein doesn't have to bore his way through the coral to get to the other side of the tank. All he has to do is swim through one of the holes. As long as he doesn't bump into the coral, there's no problem. Likewise, all I have to do is figure out a way to keep Starjumper's atoms from bumping into the atoms of my house. Then Starjumper will pass right through its walls just like Einstein passes through the pink coral. What could be simpler? I don't know why everyone makes such a big deal about being a genius. For me, it's easy. Once I had my insight, the rest was a piece of cake. The math took about 20 minutes, then I sketched out the basic design. I called my new invention an atom slider because it allows one atom to slide past another without touching. Luckily, I found everything I needed to build my new invention in the bins under my bed. One rubber band, 2 forks, 2 silver quarters, wing nuts and bolts, a shoebox, one simple on-off switch, 1 paper towel roll, paper clips. The atom slider. I finished my atom slider in less than an hour, another record for the history books. That made 2 in just one day. Even Einstein, the real Einstein, wasn't that brilliant. But it was getting late. Pretty soon it would be bedtime. I quickly installed the atom slider in Starjumper's control panel. Then I gathered some supplies for the trip. A change of clothes, my toothbrush, snacks, 7 granola bars, 3 banana nut cupcakes, 1 large bag of potato chips, and 2 boxes of pretzels. A first aid kit, my warrior cards, all my Z-Men comic books, my notebooks, this one, and the one where I write down all my scientific formulas. As I was stowing away the last few items in Starjumper's cargo hold, I sensed Jonathan, like an evil force, lurking outside my bedroom door. "What do you want?" I yelled. "Can I come in?" "No, go away." "You missed a great wrestling match. Want to hear about it?" "No." Come on, open the door. I want to see how my castle is coming." "No." "So you admit it. You are working on my castle." "No." "Aren't you going to say anything but no?" "No." There was a long silence. Then I heard Dad's footsteps in the hall. "What are you still doing awake?" he said. I heard him snatch up Jonathan in his arms. "You're supposed to be in bed by now." Alex is up, said Jonathan. Dad must have tickled Jonathan just then because I heard him giggle. Alex, it's past your bedtime too, Dad called through the door. Tomorrow is a school day. Okay, Dad, I called back. I covered Star Jumper with a sheet, put on my pajamas, and climbed into bed. Actually, Dad, tomorrow isn't a school day. Not for me, at least, I said to myself as I lay on my back in the dark. In fact, unless I start one myself on my new planet, I'm never going to school again. My new planet. Those words sounded so sweet, I let them melt on my tongue like a cool lick of ice cream on a hot summer day. But I didn't let myself fall asleep. After a while, Mom came in to say good night. She always does that, even if she's really busy. When I was younger, she used to read to me almost every night. Dad, too. Now I'm bigger, so they mostly read to Jonathan. Sometimes I listen in. But when you're my age, you don't want to hear the same stories that your 6-year-old brother likes, especially when they used to be your favorite stories and now they're his. As soon as Mom came in, she went right over to Star Jumper. It's so nice that you're building something for Jonathan. Can I take a peek? She said, and took hold of the sheet. I sat bolt upright in bed. No, don't, I snapped. You'll spoil the surprise. Well, I wouldn't want to do that. She let go of the sheet, and I breathed a sigh of relief. But I am so proud of you, dear, so very proud. Then Mom tucked me in and gave me a goodnight kiss. It was just like every other goodnight kiss she ever gave me, but tonight it felt different. That's the last goodnight kiss I'll ever get from my mom, I thought. Just as she was about to shut the door, I called out to her, I'll never forget you, Mom. She stopped and gave me a funny look. Then she smiled that nice smile of hers. And I'll never forget you either, Alex, she said, and turned out the light. For a while, I just lay there in the dark, thinking dark thoughts. I hadn't even left yet, and already I was missing Mom and Dad and my house and my school and my friends. Heck, I was missing everyone on the planet. Everyone, that is, but Jonathan. It's not fair, I thought. After all, it's his fault, not mine, that I'm leaving. If it wasn't for that pain-in-the-butt brother of mine, I could live out my days on Earth, basking forever in the glory of my genius and fame. I lay in my bed for what seemed like hours, waiting for everyone to fall asleep. Then, when the house was dead quiet, I got out of bed and turned on my desk lamp. It was 1:30 a.m. Takeoff time.